Good morning, church. I just want to say, just when we were singing there before, the phrase, God's grace found me, is completely applicable to my testimony. Last September, I went to the doctor over something quite innocuous, and basically the same day had my driving licence suspended on medical grounds. That's had a massive, massive impact on my life. So I've had to stop work. So most people know I'm an interpreter and I have to travel all around the UK and Europe sometimes. So I've not been able to work. I was told it was temporary by Christmas, which was 4 months in. Still no work, no income. Obviously I'm having to rely on my lovely church family just to get to church. Can't do things like just pop out to do the shopping. It's had a huge, huge impact on the family. By the time Christmas came, we had a very lean Christmas. And I was like, okay, Lord, you mean the doctor said this was temporary? What's going on? What's going to happen? I'm like, if I can't get the car back, I can't go to work, so I'm going to have to find other work. I've always had I run a small business, a community interest company, like a social enterprise, to support deaf people who want to set up their own business. It's never earned any money. I didn't expect it to. I've always invested in that out of my own income, my own time, because I love the people, I want to support them, want to help them. And I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore because I don't have an income to be able to put my spare time into it. Spoke to the directors, I said, look, I want to close it down because I'm going to just have to look for another job. About 2 weeks later, I got an email from the National Lottery. Now, I'd forgotten I had applied for some money to do a project, and they sent us an email to say, we really love your project, here's some money. Right? And I was like, what? So I was running around the house like a lunatic. And I'd like to say that's where it ended, but throughout January, I have seen God open the floodgates, and I had to write a list to tell you what He's done. So on the 5th of January, the lottery funding was approved. On the 9th of January, I got an email from the National Association of the Deaf in America, who had heard about the project, but bearing in mind it had been 4 days, they'd heard about the project and wanted to work with us. On the 10th of January, I got another email to say that a technology magazine company had seen what we do and had given us an award. On the 15th of January, a tech company approached us and said, we've seen what you do, we think that our technology would work really well with your sign language users, could we find a way to work together? On the 16th of January, a London-based deaf organisation emailed, said, could we book a meeting with you, we'd really like to work with you. 16th of January, I was invited to join an advisory board for Heriot-Watt University because they recognised the specialist knowledge that I had and wanted, because the company that I run is the only company in the UK to support deaf people who are self-employed. They said, there's nobody else. We'd like you to come and join our advisory board and advise us on our project, please. They're working with 9 universities across Europe. I'm sorry, I'm shaking because this is just, it's ridiculous, honestly. On the 24th of January, I started designing our first book, which is business English translated into sign language. So we're creating a book at the moment. On the 24th of January, a HMRC subcontractor contacted us and said, could we work with you because we're able to do the tax side of things, but we can't offer business support for deaf people. Could you do that for us, please? On the 25th of January, there's only one university in the whole world that only educates deaf people. That's in Massachusetts in the United States. They sent us an email and said, we've heard about your project, we'd really like to work with you. On the 30th of January, we became a CPD accredited organisation so that all our training can actually be accredited for people. On the 30th of January, I got an email from the Department of Work and Pensions asking if we'd register as a supplier so that we could support deaf people who are trying to set up their own business. And on the 30th of January, we became a disability confident employer. Now, don't get me wrong, right? That was like 3.5 weeks, and I know this was not me because I've been running this little organisation for 4 years with my own sweat and tears, and it's produced some good things, but it certainly has the calibre and the standard of the doors that the Lord has opened has been phenomenal. And I know this is just the start, so praise the Lord.